Okay, here we go. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to introduce Erin Kline. She's a mortgage banker that I work with, and we agreed to get together here to talk a little bit about the market today. So, welcome, Erin.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Lots to talk
Hey.
about.
Oh, I know. There's so much to talk about in real estate right now in the lending world, and I wanted to start off and kick it off a little bit about talking about what the market's like. That's what people are interested right now. Here we are in October of 2023, and it's just a good time to talk about that. And I want to kick it off a little bit by saying that I have this pricing strategy that I've used for years. And when I came out with it in 2009, I coined it the 30, 60, 90-day or more pricing strategy.
Mhm.
And during COVID, I had to change the 30-day price and the 60-day price and the 90-day price because houses were just selling so fast, so fast. So I coined it the 3-day price. So we would price it at a certain price, and for sure the house would sell in 3 days over the weekend. And if you had your home a little bit too high priced, you'd be at a 7-day price. So you'd probably sell your home still in about a week.
Uh-huh.
And if you went 14 days, so that was my 14-day price, you were definitely overpriced, but you could still sell the house in about 14 days. You'd have to still bring down the price maybe because you got it way overpriced, but the market was just insane.
It was crazy. It was
Yeah,
you're 100% who would have thought that houses would have been flying off the shelf like they were.
right. And now we're back to the 30, 60, 90, in my opinion. I see houses sitting in the market for 30 days, and the ones that are staying in the market for more than 30 days, those houses are overpriced, or maybe they need fix up or whatever, and
Mhm.
they're just too much. So, yeah,
A much more balanced market. We're back to a bit more of a level playing field between buyers and sellers, which is great.
yeah, we only had like in Denver, we only had like 2,500 homes for sale. Now we have about 13,000, which is pretty normal compared to like the 08, 09 market when we had 33,000 homes for sale. It was crazy.
Right. Well, and I look back and I had some clients in Colorado buying a house that was listed for 800,000. They paid $982,000. They paid about 25% more than what the seller was asking to buy a house because it was so crazy.
Yeah. Well, so Aaron, tell us a little bit about like this rate shock that people are kind of experiencing right now. That's kind of the big talk right now, I think.
It certainly is. And,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Perspective is everything, right? And if we look at where interest rates have been historically, so I've been doing this for 33 years. And if we look at average interest rates from 1973 to present, it's really like 7.74%, not a lot different than where we are today. But the reason we're all having rate shock is we got to enjoy those really low interest rates in the 2, 3, 4% range, which is what drove all the crazy house market, right? People were overpaying because they were going, wow, look what a great rate I can get. Well, when you have rates rise from a low of 2, 3, 4% to where we are now, back in the sevens or sometimes even the eights, in such a short amount of time, it really causes you some pause. You start to second guess yourself. You look and say, well, you're starting to compare how much you could spend at that lower interest rate versus what you can spend at that higher interest rate. But what people don't think about is that now you're paying a more reasonable price for a house. So you're not comparing apples to apples. You're assuming that you're going to be able to do the same thing with the low interest rate. In reality, you were paying, like I said, maybe 25% more for a house than what you'd be paying for now.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about those benefits of buying now, because like it seems like right now the people that are actually moving or buying a home or selling are the ones that either there's a death in the family, there's divorce, there's a job transfer, there's a state liquidation, like maybe somebody passed away and there's a personal representative or a conservator deed, and we're dealing with attorneys on those kind of properties constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But that never stops, like there's certain things that happen no matter what happens to the market, where just things always happen. And so let's talk about the benefits of buying now.
Right. Well, and I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, if you watch the news, you would think that all of us only move when interest rates are low or when we can get a really good price on a house. But in reality, people move for what I heard somebody call the 6 Ds: death, diamonds, getting married, divorce, like you said, diapers, having a baby, you need more space, diplomas, you've graduated college, you need to move out into your own home, or jokingly, dad's basement. So if you've been living with your family, it's time for you to buy a house. People buy a house when it's, people should buy a house when it's the right time for them to buy a house, when they're ready and they can buy a house that they can afford and they can buy a house that they want to live in. And so it's a really great opportunity to buy a house when you have less competition because you have more time to think. I mean, you see that, Jim, when you're out showing houses to clients. How much time did they have to think about buying a house a year and a half or 2 years ago versus today?
Yeah, they didn't have any time at all. It's like on the spot, and sometimes they weren't even sure if they liked the house, but they said, we just need a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would try to go into that competition, and it created a lot of, sometimes the people who won the highest offer, they would fall out because they're going, man, did I actually get it? I'm not sure if I want this house. And then they would bail out.
I had some clients many clients that happened to, but one that I'm thinking about that during COVID bought a house. And a year later, I just helped them move again because they decided that they really made a bad choice under duress to buy that house. And it ended up costing them a lot of money.
But the flip side of things is that when the rates do go up, the prices come down, the sellers are more negotiable. They can pay seller concessions more willingly. Like I've noticed if a house is on the market for even a week, the sellers are thinking, oh my gosh, why is my house not selling? And then they start thinking, when we get an offer, we're a little more negotiable. That's what they're thinking in their head.
Well, and you can always refinance your mortgage rate. When rates come down, and they will again, you're going to have an opportunity to refinance that loan, but you can't go back and unbuy the house for the price you paid. You're so much better off getting a decent price on a house and not having to overpay at a higher interest rate because the rate can be changed on the loan. You just can't unbuy the house at the price you paid.
The phrase that I think is comes to mind so much is, we date the rate and we marry the house, because
Exactly.
you want the house, but you can always refinance. And I know that you're gonna at times you've been in refinance markets, I'm sure, where you've noticed a lot of people refinancing.
Right? It's a great opportunity. You get to keep the same house and you just get a better interest rate and a lower monthly payment. So if you're in a place where you can buy a house right now and you're comfortable with the payment and you want to live in that house, it only gets better when we refinance that loan. Then you end up with a lower monthly payment.
Yeah, because when the rates do come back down, if they do come back down, that same house you bought's going to be, it could have been multiple offers. Maybe you would even got the house of your dreams because somebody else, was a cash buyer and beat you out or whatever.
Yeah,
So
or there were 50 offers on the house you wanted to buy and you were one of 50.
this could be one of those time frames, Erin, where like between October and December and January, between now and then, you might look back and say, only if I would have bought a house then.
100%.
We
Yeah.
don't know what rates are going to do, but next year's an election year, so rates could drop. Nobody really knows for sure. But if that happens, you're going to go, wow, if I only would have bought in October of 2023.
Hmm. I wish I would have. And they say that when's the best time to plant a tree? 30 years ago. When's the second best time? Today. And the same thing is generally true with a house in the regard that once you buy a home, you start building equity in that house and you pay the loan down. You've got to pay to live somewhere. So you might as well be paying in a place where you're putting money in the bank with your equity.
Yeah, and I think the other conversation is too, is that you have to do it when you're ready. Like if you've been planning, uh, everything's ready for you to make this move, and you're thinking, oh, the market, what about the market? Maybe we should wait. Like I'm ready to do it now. And so don't let the market stop you because you just need to, you mentioned Brian, our friend Brian. One time he said, just get on the train. Just get on the train. Don't be off the train, be on the train.
Hmm.
And so be in ownership of a house.
Real estate is the biggest driver of personal and generational wealth. And the
Yeah.
sooner you start going down that path, the better off you are. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really hard to time the market. You know, if you read any investment advice for investing in the stock market, you will read everywhere that you are better off investing consistently over time than you are by trying to time the market. And in the real estate world, that means if you're waiting for house prices to come down or you're waiting for rates to come down, you're losing all of that time that you could be building equity in the meantime.
Yeah. Well, I just want to conclude with a couple things here. I want to say that, first of all, to my friends who are listening to this, I want to highly recommend Erin Kline. I've known her for a long, long time. You're with Alaris,
Yeah.
and I know you've got some good loan programs over there. And I just, one of the things that's really great about our relationship is that, we work on a buyer referral only basis. We know each other. We're in the same group where we're always rolling out the red carpet, for our clients and going the extra mile. And I know you do that. So I just wanted to endorse you for that.
And at 100%, Jim, I feel exactly the same way about you. When I refer a client to you, I know that they are going to be treated with, VIP service. With you're intimately concerned about what's right for them, not just about selling them a house. And that's what makes our relationship and our business philosophy so special, because there are so many people in our industries that's not, they're not client centered.
And if you can get that both with the realtor and the lender at the same time, that's pretty magical. So I think that's really cool. So I want to say that, those that are listening, so who's the next person right now that's most likely going to want to buy a home within the next, say, 3 months, like this fall? Who comes to mind first? So, please don't keep us a secret, because, we're here. Erin and I are here to help you, and we can put that transaction together for you. And there's a lot of steps to that transaction, and we're going to be there on every single step.
And it never hurts to figure out your options.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Erin, for being on this call today. It was wonderful. And it's a great way for a lot of my friends to be introduced to you as well. So that's really great.
Thank you so much, Jim.
All right. Well, have a wonderful day, and everybody have a great day, and a happy fall harvest season. See you later.